This is Fox 14 News at 9, and it starts right now. Hello and welcome. I'm Liz Holliday, in tonight for Lindsay Henry. The land behind me now belongs to the county, with Eastgate Boulevard acting as the new boundary. Competitive biking brings bursts of adrenaline and determination to Nevada, Missouri. Dozens of cyclists gathered for the first year of Tour Nevada, a weekend-long event consisting of short, closed-course racing. This is the pond where 14-year-old Freddie Williams was found at 8 a.m. this morning. Police say they used search dogs and horses to search this area 2 times before the missing boy was found. Appraisal companies say they gave everyone in Pittsburg a fair deal. The judge presiding over the case says she will have a decision on the issue soon. Reporting live from Pittsburg, Oklahoma, Liz Holliday, KOAM News.
All right, Liz Holliday live. Thanks, Liz. Now
I'm here in Lincoln Park, where people have been celebrating the 4th of July since yesterday. And as you can see around me, it's not slowing down anytime soon. The season will be just underway in a few hours. The Kansas Department of Wildlife, Parks and Tourism say they will be busy as the season begins. According to Thomas, he was buying these pills for $5 a pop. And he says he wasn't just buying one. Schultz says whiplash or not, he won't know what his yields will be until the end of August. In Cherokee County, Kansas, Liz Holliday, KOAM News. Months after the tornado, we get an update of how 2 churches are recovering. According to the Chamber of Commerce, 20 faith-based organizations were impacted by the tornado.
But for now, at least it doesn't look like we're going to have a major problem.
I've never had a white Christmas before.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it could be nice.
It could.
Quick but thorough, as always. Nick Kelly, thank you very much.
No problem.
Neighbors say this is not the first time the bird has escaped. That's about all the time we have here tonight. Thanks for joining us on Fox 14, and have a great Saturday night.
I've seen tornadoes before, but I've never been in path one.
When Larry Davis stepped out of his safe room, he was confronted with turned-over semis and his son's diesel business in shambles. He says the damage was pretty shocking.
Disbelief, I guess, is about all you could say. It's just pretty awesome.
And Davis wasn't the only one. Authorities report about 15 houses sustained damage, with tree limbs and power lines down in this stretch off of East 130 Road.
This is ground zero right here, just a major amount of damage. It had this intersection blocked for quite a while with all of these poles and debris that was in the road.
And though emergency services says the tornado was only on the ground for mere seconds, it was just enough time to leave behind this kind of damage.
We had very little warning, and the way it worked out, no harm was done to people, but a lot of property damage here.
Morgan reports that thankfully no one was injured, and that first responders like Wyandotte Fire Department were on hand 20 minutes after the storm to help pick up the pieces.
Basically just taking assessment of damage of houses, helping people get at least tarps over their roofs to where they don't have any more rain damage than what they've already sustained.
As for Davis, he says he's thankful for the help from first responders like Turner.
Just doing everything they can to kind of get things back to where we can do something, you know. There's just so much to do, you don't know where to start.
Davis says that the shop is insured and that they will begin the process of rebuilding. In Ottawa County, Oklahoma, Liz Holliday, Fox 14 News. Student Body President Abigail Nikens was at a debate tournament when she first noticed the confessional Twitter accounts calling out her fellow students by name, the content of which cannot be repeated.
Definitely was personal information that shouldn't be on a social networking device.
By the time she got home, 5 new accounts had been made. But instead of getting mad, Nikens says she decided to make some tweets of her own.
Webb City High School president feels that you should not judge people based on anything, and you definitely, bullying is never anything that you should accept in a high school.
And whether or not the cyberbullying occurred on campus, the superintendent says if they find out about it and it is affecting students, well then you better believe they're going to investigate.
The person that's involved with this is doing something that's wrong, and we believe that there ought to be a consequence for what they're saying and what they're doing.
But unfortunately, it might not be so easy to track the culprits, according to Webb City Police Chief Carl Francis. He says though IP addresses can be traced, intent of harm must be proven, and issues of slander are saved more for civil courts.
Individuals who are out there making these accounts and throwing this maliciousness around, they want attention. If you just ignore them a lot of times, they'll quit doing it.
Niken says students have even created a counter account of their own called WB Compliments, posting only positive and not negative comments about students. In Webb City, Missouri, Liz Holliday, Fox 14 News.
It's great to be awarded something like this, but to know that I'm just carrying it. I'm just the caretaker of it for those soldiers that can't.
Staff Sergeant Clinton Romney is one of only 80 living recipients of the Congressional Medal of Honor. President Barack Obama presented him with the award in February for his heroic actions in October of 2009.
Our outpost came under attack by approximately 300 Taliban fighters. We sat in the bottom of a valley. They had the high ground around us.
Isolated with friendly fire miles away, Romney helped his team hold off the enemy and launch a counterfire of their own. Now back on U.S. soil, Romney has gone from the military to safety field for the oil industry. He says it was a pretty easy transition.
To recognize hazardous observations as well as following and mentoring for standard operating procedures. I mean, as an NCL, that is exactly what we did in the Army, and transferring to the safety department, that's exactly what you're doing there.
Romney received a square in the Pittsburg State University's Veterans Memorial, but the main reason for the visit is to speak with students in the new Environmental and Safety Management program, something their professor hopes hits home.
To protect the employees that they serve. That it requires tenacity, and it requires honesty, and it requires that leadership.
Students we spoke with say they were honored for the opportunity to meet with an American hero, especially someone who has a background in their future career.
It's 1 in a million opportunity, you know, because most generally you don't find a living recipient. So the opportunity came up, so a lot of people they're very excited.
And despite the honor and national recognition, Romney says at the end of the day, he's just regular old Clint. And he hopes he can show PSU students how to meet the challenges and opportunities that await them head on. In Pittsburg, Liz Holliday, KOAM News.